getting worse and worse with each new generation. I'm happy to be back in Florida, by the way. Anyway, it's 2024. Cars are getting worse and worse with each generation. Prices are going up, and quality is falling so low you can't even see the bar anymore, right? So, should you forget all of that and just buy... Yes, you should 100% just buy a used Corolla. There's no question about it. These new cars, they stink, especially from Hyundai and Kia, which are I will admit, they're the only affordable options now. They stink. They're not reliable. They're not good. And to be quite frankly, they're not great either, right? You know what I mean? Like, even if they were built crappily, right? Even if they were cheap, the cars just aren't good. They're not good to drive. They're not good to own. Sure, they may look nice and, the chrome and everything, but they're just not good cars to own. So today we're going to be going over the Toyota Corolla. Now, when you are buying used Corolla, you probably think your fate is just to end up with some boring beige dad car. But I'm here to tell you the Corolla has had several different iterations and generations, so throughout this video, I'm sure you'll find one that you A, can afford, and B, vibe with. Now, the reason why the Corolla has so many generations is because it's been around for a very long time, since like the 70s. These new cars, this is the Hyundai Venue, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, a new crossover, for 2024, sure, why not, just invent a new car. These car companies are just inventing cars, right? They're just like, I did not play my hand. Venue. That's a great venue. And what should it be? Crossover. Of course, it's got to be a venue crossover. Great. Like, gotta run this boss right now. And that's just how cars are made nowadays. The Corolla was invented in the 1970s and continued on for a very long time. Now, am I going to be going over the 1970s generation? No, I'm going to be the earliest I will do is the 2004 through 2008 generation. So if you wanted to go earlier than that, I would advise against it. Quality goes up, but overall features, usability in 2024 just goes down with time. This is the Toyota Corolla Toyota Corolla X from 2008, the last year of the generation. Of course, you have this stylish, classy body kit, this really happy Corolla butt, which is, usual because it's a Corolla. You also have fog lights, which is really nice on a Corolla just for driving. Cloth with, some mixed little pleather, armrests. Very nice, something to brush up against too, somewhere to rest your arms. The interior is really nice. It's cloth, and it's cloth, not fabric. These fabric interiors, they're stretched so thin, as soon as you sit on it, it shreds into a million pieces. Just awful. Just absolutely terrible. Other than that, the interior is great. You have a radio, a disc player, a CD player. Just get, like one of those Wi-Fi receivers wired into the radio. You'll be fine. The normal standard Toyota steering wheel, and then, how hot do you want it, how far do you want it to blow, and where do you want to send it, your typical, controls. The entire interior is really well thought out and really nice to sit in. Remember, the Corolla is a smaller car, so crash safety is an issue. So, right, I'm picking safer generations, but remember, the more, time you spent, the newer the car is, it tends to be more safer. That's one of the upsides of these newer, just invented cars. They tend to be a lot smoother and more efficient when it comes to crashes and, not disputing, and, wow, I'm not tired at all, and yet I'm acting like I'm tired, and distributing the forces from a crash. So, this one is a 2008 Corolla S for $7,000. I would rank this like a 7 out of 10. If you can find one, that'd be great. The next car is a 2012 Toyota Corolla, 2011 Toyota Corolla S. Again, you have a custom body kit, just amazing, gotta love Toyota. You have those really nice rims that I've always loved that's been on the Corolla, and this is probably my favorite generation of Corolla, just because I appreciate it for what it is. You have, a nice silver bar there, nice, snazzy, and classy, Trek Tribe. And then, of course, you've got all the fanciness of a Corolla, the circles with the turn signal and the reverse lights. I like the amber turn signals. They just work. I like the red brake lights. It's traditional. It's how it should be done. You have loads of trunk space, and one thing that I really like is the interior is modern, right? The old one was like you're coming out of the 90s, right? You're trying to just make something newer and modern to catch up with the other car companies. This one felt like Toyota was really in its element here. The seats are surprisingly comfortable for a budget Toyota car, and the entire car is just really nice. Now, because this was made in the early 2010s, you will notice that there's a bunch of chrome in the interior. you just can't avoid it nowadays, right? Now you have your, Toyota radio system. You, of course, have, how hot do you want it to be, how hard do you want it to blow, and where do you want to send it, your typical controls. You've got your shifter down there, typical Toyota jigsaw shifter, your sporty, fancy steering wheel, and then your block of chrome on the doors. One thing I really like about this Corolla is the top and bottom glove boxes. When we look at the door here, we can, of course, see mostly plastic, but you do have, like, a nice little cloth armrest. These tend to rip and the glue tends to come off, so just be aware of that. The door handles and everything, it looks really nice and it fits really well together. Overall, just a very nice, very great car that a lot of people tend to look up on. As you can see over here, there is both top and bottom glove boxes. So you can, put your gloves in the top one, phone charger, whatever, Very good car. I'd rate this a 10 out of 10. If you can find one of these used, $11,000, 75,000 miles, it'll last you the rest of your life, right? This one is the Toyota Matrix, not Toyota Corolla hatchback, Toyota Corolla Matrix. This is the last of the generation. This is about 2011, and I would suggest getting the later models just because, the earlier generations, we're talking 2003, 2004, 2005, tend to be a little bit less safe as they look similar, but they are on a different, older platform. The same platform this one shares for the most part. It has more in common with the 90s Corollas than the 2020s Corollas, so I definitely get a newer one. This one also just looks better, right? The original one, small grille, looked kind of Pontiac-ish. This one, I think, looked really nice, with the plastic, the fog lights, everything looked really well. Nice. Of course, you've got, the wheels there. They're very nice. I love Toyota's wheels. Especially the alloy ones. They're just cut out super nice. The back of the car, amber turn signals, red reverse lights, white backup reversing lights. Just very, very nice setup that Toyota's done here just to make this car super ergonomic. If, this Corolla really isn't your jam, which is usually what I would say for most people, just get one of these. They look a whole lot more modern, I will say, than the other Corollas. They were future-proofed. They look really nice, and, they're really nice and exceptional to drive. The only thing I don't like, the storage space from this car to the regular Corolla is not as big as you think it would be. There's actually less storage on this one, I believe. This, the door is pretty similar. You can see some of that, tearing, peeling action that I've talked about before. Other than that, the rest of the car is good. There's one thing that you'll hate, and it's this gigantic slab of chrome. Everyone that gets one of these like too much chrome, and I agree with them. Of course, your typical controls. There's not much to say about a Corolla, right? And that's the best thing about it. Again, gigantic slab of chrome. That was the main issue with the Matrix. And it's not like a structural issue, right? Like, Toyota's the only car company where if there's a serious issue, it's with the design and whatever this is supposed to be, the looks, and not something mechanical or physical. Although that's changing nowadays because it's 2024, of course it is. The dashboard is really nice. You have a little driver information display and sporty, red gauges because, it's a Corolla and, they go vroom vroom. You've also got a radio. One thing that I really don't like that Toyota does so much is these custom radios. Why? This one, of course, has the typical, doubled-in radio. Toyota put a lot of doubled-in radios in, and these are really easy to switch out into screens, right? Yeah, just go to Best Buy, you get a screen, you get the little crap adapter for, like, all Toyota Corollas, and you just slap it in there, bing, bang, boom, you got yourself a screen. I would totally recommend upgrading your car's stereo system. Just so much better to interact with, right? That's something that you interact with quite frequently if you like music, right? And then Toyota did this crap. I get it. Apple does this too. You may have seen my iPod video on iQuokka. They're just so hard to, work on, Apple products. That's why they did this. They could have 100% moved those in like a centimeter and then everything would have been fixed. But nope, they did that on purpose so that you can't retrofit your own radio in there. Which is really annoying, but again, you're just going to have to buy a whole new sheet of plastic. Maybe buy it in carbon fiber. I've seen carbon fiber replacements for this gigantic sheet of chrome that comes with the screen pre-installed. It looks smooth, but, it's just not worth it, Toyota. The next car is the 2016 Toyota Corolla X. Toyota Corolla. Oh, I forgot to rate this one 10 out of 10 as well. This one is an 11 out of 10. This one is my second favorite. I like this one just because it's bare bones, down and dirty Corolla. The ones that last for millions and millions of miles. This one's a little bit more modern. Well, this one's a little bit more modern, more computerized. But I still love it. Fog lights, the wheels. I thought the Corolla Furia, which was what this was based on, was one of the best looking cars Toyota's ever made. It's, of course, got that iconic, new century Toyota smiling, look, smile to it. That sporty S logo. And, of course, these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful diamond cut wheels, right? When I was looking at this thing in, 2013 when the concept first came out, I said, there ain't no way Toyota is coming out with a Corolla with diamond cut wheels on the top trim level, right? Because that's never really happened before on any of the other ones. It's always been alloys for the top trim levels. Nope, I was wrong. Diamond cut wheels, they're beautiful, they look great. Or machined wheels, if you want to be boring. You've, of course, also got some blue in the interior. You know, you gotta be fancy. Other than that, the interior is great. You got some leather, just great. Super modern, which is really what I like about it. Here's another reason which just kind of knocked it off the list for me of my favorite Corollas. Like, there's ranking them for daily driving, and then there's my personal tastes and choices. I don't like this. The cloth, you know, when you drip something, it always runs off the leather into the cloth, which is why this is so stained and the leather looks pristine. Stupid. I don't know why they do that. They were trying to save money. Like, the areas that you really touch should realistically be the only bit that's leather, but that's just stupid and not the way it works, right? One thing that I don't like is Toyota's inconsistency. Sometimes they do like little alert messages, like if your door is open in red, which doesn't really make sense or line up, but I guess it grabs your attention, right? Of course, you have this Toyota stereo sound system, and it stinks. It really stinks. These just have so many issues. My RAV4 had this, you know, you can't touch in the corners, can't touch anywhere, right? It'll go deet, deet, deet. It'll be stupid. I hate them. Buy a replacement. You need one, right? Single zone climate control, but everything's easy to use, and you have a little screen to let you know, which is nice, of course, objectively. Everything else in the car is really nice. You know, the parts that you sit on are nice. Everything in this car is nice to feel and to touch. Of course, you got your small little four-banger, and other than that, everything is fine. The next car is the Corolla I've. This thing's twin. This one's a 9 out of 10. Just because, well, one thing that's good about this is that it has a better screen that you won't need to replace. The bad part about this is that it looks like this. It just doesn't look, like, good at all, but it's personal taste. The back has so much more space than the Matrix. Like, if you can spring for one of these, get it. You have the valve of, you know, Toyota, like, valve matrix engine, you know, nice and fancy. Again, machined wheels, or diamond cut, you know, if you want to be fancy and snazzy. The interior is pretty much the same. It's exactly the same. And it's nice, but one thing I do appreciate is that they put a nicer stereo sound system in this one, which is interesting and just overall better for use in daily driving and actually owning the stupid car. And they also, for some reason, put the Toyota Prius gauge in this. So if you own a Prius and you own a Corolla I've, you will be interacting with the same style of touch controls. I'm guessing because, you know, the other one just didn't fit and they wanted something else. This one also shares the steering wheel with my Toyota RAV4. Well, my old Toyota RAV4, which doesn't really make sense. But other than that, these are great. This is the base model for $13,000. Not bad at all. We're already in the 2020s here. You know, the Corollas had a lot of generations, but not that many, and they've always spanned about 6 to 7 years. This is an XSE from 2023, and they're just amazing and great and fantastic. The XSE, you get some sporty, you know, trims. You've got, of course, what you actually need in the center, and then off to the side, you have a little driver information display with crucial things. You have a stupid, sticking up, ugly plastic screen, but it's a Toyota. They all have that nowadays. You've got a soft plush dash. Thumbs up. That's good. I like that. You've, of course, got your, you know, shifter still, you know, manual. Because the car industry is so sad. When I say it's a manual shifter, I don't mean it has a manual transmission. I mean you actually get to shift something. That's better. You know, people were complaining when automatic transmissions became the default, and they couldn't, you know, they weren't actually shifting anything. It was just cheap little cables, right? Now we have dials, and those people are spinning in their graves, right? Well, many of them are still alive, and many of them are me. Anyway, of course, the back is very, very nice. The entire car is just super nice. And again, machined wheels, those haven't really left the Corolla since the Furia, which I really think was the turning point for the Corolla. I'll make a video about that, you know, in another video. Other than that, the entire car is just beautiful. I love this blue, nice, light paint. It's just a driver's car, right? Toyota makes cars for people to actually drive instead of GM, who just makes cars for their own, you know, their own guilty pleasure, right? Their own, to get some chuckles out of their buyers. $17,000 Corolla SE. This is a 2020, not a 2022. I love those machine wheels. I love the Corolla. The next car is the Corolla hatchback. This is a 2020 XSE. Same machined wheels. There's not a lot of difference. I do think this one looks slightly better. This would just be great as a daily driver. You get a lot of storage. You get, like, again, just very nice. One thing that I do like about this compared to the other one is kind of everything. So first of all, you get cup holders in the rear doors. It doesn't sound good, but imagine if you're, like, sitting in the back seat. That's a lot more convenient place to have the cup holder than buried away somewhere in the seat, right? And you just get more room. Like, I know you actually don't get more, but it feels like you get more room. You also have a driver information display, which is trying to be modern, but I'm sure you can tell where it starts and then it ends. But, you know, not bad. The entire interior is just very nice. And something that this had that I believe the other Corollas didn't have is dual zone climate control. You cannot get dual zone climate control on the Corolla, and yet you can get it on the Corolla hatchback. Just weird. The Corolla hatchback / Matrix have always been kind of weird and slightly different in their own weird and unique ways. But this is just kind of its own weird thing, you know? Other than that, it's just very nice. This is an XSE, $22,000, 40,000 miles, last you the rest of your life. The next one on this list is the Toyota Corolla Cross. This one, all-wheel drive. Oh, yeah, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Not bad. This one's a 10 out of 10. This is like a 2010 Toyota RAV4 personified and brought back. Leather, nice plastics. Everything in here just feels nice. Of course, you have that lovely looking fully digital gauge cluster, which I'm happy to say. Heated seats. These cars are just amazing to drive. It's truly a driver's car. They're just so amazing and so great when it comes to everyday activities. You have tons, and I mean tons of trunk space. The car is just great. There's not much else I can say about the car. $29,000. It's expensive, but it is only a year old. It's 100% worth it. If you can find one of these, buy it. Go ahead. Machined alloy wheels. Gotta love them. Pretty much it. And the last car, which is the best car, is the Corolla Hybrid. This has been out in only the LE for a while. They just got, the SE and XSE this year. But the LE Hybrid has always been supreme. So the LE Hybrid is just amazing. You get hubcaps, which you can switch out for other wheels if you don't like them. Personally, they don't offend me or bother me, so I just leave them on there. A partially digital gauge cluster. It's a hybrid. You're going to get great gas mileage. You're going to be able to find these used for a lot of money. For a decent amount of money. And you're going to be able to get a lot of miles out of this vehicle. Because it has the Toyota Hybrid Synergy Drive that they invented, 1994. It's been out forever. 100% you can trust it. 25 out of 10. Just amazing. $25,000, 24,000 miles. Great. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I think these videos were actually pretty fun to make.